Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with another competitive Pokemon Sun and Moon moveset video, guide, analysis, whatever you want to call it. This time we're going to be talking about type Null. Now, before I get into it, I just want to say there's a playlist down below. I encourage you to go ahead and check that out if you missed any of my previous moveset guides. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Those links are down below. Now, you might be wondering why am I doing type Null when I haven't done Silvally yet? Two reasons. One, I'm doing Silvally last. Silvally has... it's not that it has so many options, just that it can potentially be all the types of Pokemon, just with the memory thing it's holding, or whatever it's called. So I want to do that one last, just because it has the most sets, I believe, because I'm going to show like a bunch of different sets. And also, I feel like Type Null, the second part is, I feel like Type Null has a lot of things going for it in the lower tiers. I feel like Type Null is actually better than Silvally in RU or NU or even UU. Whereas I would use Silvally in UU or OU, but I feel like Type Null is better. A few reasons why: it has base 95 stats around the board or across the board outside of speed. Its speed is base 59. I love how they just flipped that. But it has base 95 stats across the board, and because of the item Eviolite, this Pokemon is actually bulkier than Porygon. Porygon, his best stat for defensive wise is base 95 Spadef. Silvally has base 95 Spadef, Porygon has base 90 defense, Silvally has base 95 defense, and Porygon has base 85 HP, Silvally has base 95 HP. So it's actually bulkier than Porygon, which means that it can actually function as a sweeper or wall. The unfortunate thing about Type Null is that, well, two unfortunate things, is that it doesn't get recovery. It doesn't get any type of recovery. If it got recovered, it would be amazing. It would actually be so clean as a UU or RU or even an NU wall in the lower tiers. And it also doesn't have extreme speed, though it does have access to Swords Dance. I really do wish that this mon got extreme speed. But the thing about this Pokemon is, I'm going to give you guys some movesets, but it has such a wide move pool that you can really run anything. Well, more so Silvally than Type Null. But it does have some solid moves in its arsenal, and we're going to be talking about a few of them. So the first set that we have is the Swords Dance Rest Talk set. Now this set, of course, runs in a Eviolite. Battle Armor is the only ability it has. It can't be crit, which is really cool on a bulky mon. You don't have to fear being crit. And Rest and Sleep Talk get rid of the fact that you have no reliable recovery, because with Rest, you obviously get back up to full HP, and then Sleep Talk allows you to abuse that, whereas you can use Swords Dance or Return. You can also use Frustration on this set, same thing. Just Ditto doesn't copy. But this set, the EV spread is just 248 HP, 208 attack, and the rest was just put into speed. That way you can outspeed Pokemon like Alomola. That way you can Swords Dance up on them, attack them before they burn you, and also attack them before they wish you. But just to give you an idea, this Pokemon eats up a Choice Specs Draco Meteor from Jigalgi, adaptability boosted. It lives Specs Fire Blast from Chandelure in the Sun. Just to give you an idea of how bulky this Pokemon is. So this mon can set up on a lot of bulkier teams if they have like Diancie, Porygon, Alomola, Pokemon like that. Even Crobat, unless Crobat has Taunt, it's not beating it 1v1. The idea of this set is to use Swords Dance, boost up your attack, rest up whenever you get low, and then sweep with just Sleep Talk. It's just a bulkier set that outspeeds Alomola, outspeeds Donphan as well before it can knock you off, outspeed Pokemon around that speed tier. Now the second set is an SD Flame Charge set if you want to use it more as an offensive sweeper. It just maximizes your speed. This allows you to outspeed Pokemon like Min Speed, Suicune, and just mons around that particular tier. Obviously, Alomola already counts. All the bulky waters are already outsped by this. Whereas the idea of this set is to SD up, Flame Charge to boost your speed, and then sweep with either Return or Shadow Claw. Flame Charge obviously giving you coverage against Steel types, but Shadow Claw in general giving you the coverage against Steel types and Ghost types anyway, just hitting them for neutral. But this is more of an SD sweeper. I've actually tested this team. I've actually tested this mon a lot, this one in particular, and I've also played versus it, and it's so bulky. Again, having Porygon's bulk, being able to set up on the majority of the tier, especially slower teams, they don't appreciate fighting a Type Null, especially if it's Rest Talk, because slower teams, bulkier teams don't typically have that much offensive pressure. So if you don't have anything, if your opponent's team option to beating a mon like this, like for example if they fought Porygon, their way of beating it was to wear it down with Toxic, that's not working on Rest Talk Type Null. And Flame Charge just gives you more of an offensive set. It allows you to outspeed base 90s after after a flame charge, so you can outspeed Pokemon like Arcanine after a flame charge. Pokemon around that tier, you hit 325 speed. After another boost, obviously this doubles, but you're not faster than Darmanitan, but you can take a Flare Blitz from Darmanitan, knock it out with return at +2. It's just more of a sweeper set for type Null. Now, next up we have Sub SD. This set is one of my favorite ones to use as well because it can set up on bulky waters. I'll show you a calc right here. Suicune Scald versus 72 HP, Violite top, well, we're 80 HP. I don't know why I put 72 here. Versus 80 HP, Violite type Null. Does 15 to 18%, so that's a bulky water. I'll also show you my Lodic, which will be about the same, 17 to 20%. I'll show you Florges, another bulky Pokemon. I'm just trying to show you a bunch of bulky Pokemon. Florges needs consecutive higher rolls to actually break your sub. Diancie support needs consecutive high rolls on Diamond Storm. It needs absolute high rolls on Diamond Storm to break your sub. So just to show you a few bulky Pokemon that this Pokemon can sub up on. You have enough speed to outspeed min speed Suicune. The rest will just put into attack and then HP again. That way you can take those Scalds from my loader from Suicune. Most of the time Moonblast from Florges. So the idea of this set is to set it in on bulky waters like Alomola. Alomola does not break your sub. Oops, did not mean to show that. Alomola does not break your sub. I wanted to have all these in a row. Alomola Scald is a 3-hit KO on your sub, just to show you. And then at +2, your return is a solid 2-hit KO on defensive Alomola, 48 to 57%. Well, after rocks, it's a solid 2-hit KO, but typically you pair this mon with knockoff users anyway. But on defensive Alomola, it is a pretty solid 2-hit KO. I would say, it's 43%. You know, with rocks up, that is a solid 2-hit KO, guaranteed 2-hit KO with rocks up, not bad. So, return again is your main stab, and then Shadow Claw just allows you to hit ghost types, it'll hit steel types for neutral, hit ghost types for super effective, just so you're not walled by Pokemon like Chandelure. But I like this set a lot. It sets up on bulkier teams. A lot of bulkier teams don't have offensive pressure, so if you're running to Alomola a lot, Alomola, Porygon, and whatnot, you can actually set up on Porygon as well. A sub is there to avoid status, obviously, so it's a more, it's a different spread than the Flame Charge set. It's more so set up on fatter teams. Whereas it can also function as a status user because it does have access to Thunder Wave, Toxic, of course. Well, Toxic's on a lot of mons, but Toxic and Thunder Wave are your two main forms of status. Cripple mons like Metagross, Cripple mons like Darmanitan if you eat a hit, Cripple mons like Crobat. You can eat a hit from Haxorus even just because of your Eviolite and your bulkiness. Toxic is, of course, to wear down bulky Pokemon. Alomola, Milotic, opposing Porygon. Quagsire if you're facing that, and then U-turn gives you momentum. It can work as a slow U-turn to get in Pokemon such as Mega Absol, such as Metagross, such as Adaptability, Crawdon. Basically Pokemon that don't like to come in on attack. Well, Metagross is a different story. Metagross can come in on a lot of attacks, but Pokemon that don't generally like to come in on attacks, rather like getting a slow U-turn or a fast or switch in, and type Null can work as that. It eats up Adaptability, Draco Meteors, eats up hits from Celebi, can Thunder Wave, it can U-turn it for 4 times effective damage. That's good attack, you know, just neutral good attack, 226. And then a return is your main form of stab. So a few other options it does have. Pursuit can be used if you want to be able to pursue trap Pokemon like Chandelure. Facade can be used on the Swords Dance set. It's only powerful when you get burnt, but because there's a lot of bulky waters in the tier, Milotic, Suicune, Alomola, chances are you will be getting burnt by Scald if they choose to go for it. Roar can also be used with Spikes. Combine that with Spikes, maybe with a Klefki on a support set. And then Iron Head can be used to deal with Diancie. If you feel like you want to use that over Shadow Claw, this allows you to deal with Rock types. This allows you to deal with Diancie. Obviously, you miss out on that coverage versus Steel types, but you're able to knock out Pokemon like Diancie and Fairy types in general, Florges. You're dealing more damage to them at +2. So a few teammates that this Pokemon can have. Crobat is a great teammate, not only resisting the only weakness that type Null has, which is fighting, but also being able to defog away hazards, spikes, toxic spikes, anything that type Null does not like. Slowbro, again, resisting the fighting type attacks coming at type Null. Also threatening a lot of the mons that type Null doesn't like to deal with, or also appreciates the fact that if it's Calm Mind Slowbro, if it's offensive or OTR Trick Room, or offensive Trick Room Slowbro, it appreciates the fact that type Null weakens bulky waters, whereas Slowbro would otherwise have trouble with bulky waters. Also provides Thunder Wave support for type Null, can sponge hits coming at type Null, can Fire Blast Steel types and deal with Steel types with Scald as well. Florges provides a Cleric Aromatherapy for type Null, Wish Pass, resist the resist the close combats or the fighting type attacks coming at it, the high jump kicks rather, or close combats from Heracross. Walls Heracross, unless it's SD, Flame, or Facade. And also doesn't mind taking knockoffs. People are going to try and knock off your type Null. This thing can take on Absol as long as it doesn't have Iron Tail and isn't at +2. It can take on knockoffs aimed at type Null. Swampert provide rocks. Just a bulky water in general, providing rocks, contain kits from Darmanitan, which type Null can do, but type Null, obviously, if you're not running recovery, doesn't have recovery, where Swampert can check them, phase out Pokemon that would otherwise threaten it. Darmanitan appreciates slow U-turns into it, forms a sort of a U-turn core, can threaten everything offensively. Also, Slowbro appreciates the fact that type Null takes on Chandelure, doesn't care about Energy Ball, doesn't care about Shadow Ball, and obviously Slowbro resists Fire Blast, but Darmanitan can get in with a slow U-turn, can threaten Pokemon with Flare Blitz. Lurantis provides Defog, can also help weaken bulky waters, and can also provide a Cleric, Aromatherapy, to support type Null. So type Null, I mentioned also Spike's workout. This Pokemon really fun to use in RU. I very much enjoyed it. It's a lot like a team player. Unless you're using Restock SD and you're fighting a bulkier team, I don't think it's straight up sweeping, but it does really support the team well, weakening Mons or getting rid of Mons for other opposing Mons to put in work. And you'll see what I mean when the showcase goes up at 4 p.m. today. So thank you everybody for watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed. I will be doing Silvally last, as I mentioned. And also, I want you guys to know that Sunday will be tomorrow. It's Friday when I'm recording this, but I know I'm not going to be here Saturday because I'm going to a Nintendo event, and Sunday I won't be here. Sunday, I'm getting up 2 videos, but they're not going to be a showcase or a moveset video. That's going to return on Monday. So the one day I skip, sorry. I've been doing really well, though. I got like a whole bunch of almost 60 days in a row straight of movesets and showcases. But yeah, Sunday won't have a showcase or a moveset video. We'll have 2 other videos, a collab with friends, and then my SPL game 1. But in any case, guys, thank you everybody for watching. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, do your thing, check out the playlist, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.